Hello, good evening.
Not yet.
Hi. Welcome again to the 8th The Cat Has 9 Lives, that's the book, Cat Has 9 Lives, Virtual Detox Conversations. And this is the 8th one. Last week we talked about mobile phones and electromagnetic frequencies and radiation from electromagnetic frequencies. Mobile phones being the centre of the attention. And that information is not, well, everybody should know about it, and they don't. So that particular video is really very useful. So may I really urge you to share that with your friends, and I think probably a lot of people did, because we got a record number of views last week. It was about 600. And that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for spreading the news. Well, this week I want to talk about kinesiology. I want to talk about muscle testing. Kinesiology, in my opinion, was one of the best things that came out of the 20th century regarding alternative and complementary medicine. It was put together by the chiropractors. There was a meeting of chiropractors, 50 of them in fact, and in fact I had the honour of knowing one of those chiropractors who met in Chicago in 1964. And they met because of a problem. They found that their adjustments weren't always holding. They were popping out of place, and they wanted to know why. And it was from this that kinesiology was born. It's a system of muscle tests, because the body is intelligent. The body knows what it needs, and the body knows what it doesn't need. So if we were to rely and find a way of actually communicating with the body, we can get that information. For example, in kinesiology, there are many points on the body that when TL, that means touched, and then tested, they give back information about the body. So over here just on the clavicle, just on the edge there, that's the point for calcium. Most people in my experience have lots of calcium, but I'm going to sticky smooth. Those who've worked with me know what that means, and I will talk about a little bit more about that. But I'll just self-test that point, the calcium point, and see what information I get. And I've got that my calcium point it's smooth, so there's no problem there. And I'm going to move a little bit further down onto the top, onto this rib here. And this point is vitamin C, and I'm going to test there. And actually that's good as well. So no problem there. And I'm going to go into my belly button, and this one is often a problem. And this is magnesium. I'm going to test magnesium, and I am low in magnesium. Magnesium is nature's Prozac. It helps us relax, it relaxes the muscles, helps us sleep, sends us to the bathroom. It's really an important, a very important mineral. And many people have much too much calcium and not enough magnesium. They work in juxtaposition to one another. So if you've got a lot of calcium, the chances are that you're deficient in magnesium. So you need to actually bring these two into balance, okay? And if you can sticky smooth, so much the better. But today I want to take last week's conversation a little bit further. Remember, we were talking about these things. This is an Orgonite buster. We talked about Orgonite, the brainchild of Dr. Wilhelm Reich. Orgone energy, the energy that is coming off electrical devices like mobile phones, is chaotic in nature. What happens with this, because Orgonite is a mixture of organic and inorganic materials. The inorganic in this case is metal shavings. And so what happens is the energy comes in, bounces off the metal shavings and gets trapped in the organic part of this, which in this case is polyester fiber. So this is actually generating energy. If you can go into foveal vision, if you know what that means. Foveal vision means taking your focus, unfocusing on something, like a tree or another person. And if there is a light background behind them, foveal vision, you take your vision above the object and you defocus and you just watch. And you'll find that you can see energy. Yes, it looks like smoke. And the same thing applies to these, if you put them in the right place. But why are they important? Well, they're important because they make the electromagnetic energy that comes off mobile phones and other electronic devices like laptop computers or mainframe computers. This is chaotic energy. This doesn't prevent the energy, but what it does do is change it, makes it non-chaotic. And so therefore it's harmless to you. And this is why this is so important. We make these, and we sell these, and they don't cost a fortune. One of these is 100 Thai baht, which is in sterling about £2.50. They're not expensive. So let's put the proof to the pudding, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is, I've got Dar here, so I'm going to ask him to come into the picture and move in so he can be seen by the camera. There he is. And so Dar, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
And we're going to take a mobile phone. So can we have a mobile phone? And the phone is turned on. It's not on airplane mode, so this is broadcasting a signal to the nearest cell tower every few seconds. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a muscle test. As I was talking about kinesiology. Kinesiology is, the language of kinesiology is muscle testing. So if something is strong, so in his case, let's do the, I'm going to touch the calcium point. Can you touch this point where I'm touching? And I'm going to take his finger and I'm going to, this muscle here I'm testing is the opponent's pulsus longus, and I'm going to apply pressure and see what happens, okay? So here we go. Hold, and I say hold, that prepares him for the test, all right? Because if he's not prepared, his fingers will come apart. So the object is for these fingers to stay strong, all right? That's calcium. Hold. And it's pretty good. And we'll come further down and we'll go to vitamin C. And vitamin C is very strong, so that's good. So he doesn't need any vitamin C. And now put a finger in your belly button. Okay, hold. And that's magnesium, and that's probably the weakest of the lot. He needs magnesium. Magnesium relaxes muscles, it relaxes the body, it sends you to the bathroom, it helps you sleep. I call it nature's Prozac. And it doesn't come in that many foods. So consequently, many people are deficient in magnesium. If you can sticky smooth, which we hopefully might find time to talk about later, I'll remind people of, because I've already talked about this, you can actually test yourself. But what we're going to do is take this mobile phone and I'm going to place it on his thymus gland. Your thymus is really important. It's here in the center of your chest, and it plays a very important part in the immune system. It's where T cells are formulated, and T cells are a very important part of the immune system. So I've just placed it in a very significant place. And so what we're going to do is let's test and see what happens with the fingers, okay? Hold. And they come apart like a knife through hot butter. Or a hot knife through butter, I should say. And we'll do it again so you can see. The phone is on the thymus, I'm testing the muscle here. Hold. And the fingers just come apart. Now put the phone down and just touch your thumbs. Let's see if there's a difference. Hold. And I can't budge the fingers. I don't know if you can notice that difference, but to me, doing the testing, and I've done thousands of these tests, so I'm quite familiar with them, it is a very distinct difference. Now I'm going to give him back the phone to put against the thymus, and we're going to take this, the organ buster, and I'm just going to put it on his leg, and we'll try again. All right, now this time, remember the last time the muscle went weak. This time, let's see what happens. Hold. And it is considerably stronger. I don't know if you saw that. Hold. It's not 100%, but it's a lot better than when if I take the buster and put it here and just go ahead and test. Hold. And the fingers just come apart. So that is showing you that the effect of this is strengthening the body against the electromagnetic fields that come off the telephone. And other things as well. I mean, it's not only telephones. Over here I have a laptop. Laptops, you can see it. There it is. And over in the other corner, there's also a mainframe, but here's the laptop. Okay, and if I can get Dar a little bit closer, I'm going to ask him to touch the laptop. Can you reach? Right, just touch the keyboard of the laptop. Keep this away. Oh, that's impossible. I can't test you. If we can do two things at once, I've got the hand on the laptop, and let's try it. Hold. Ooh, that's pretty much on par with the mobile phone. And we sit on these things day in and day out. We're a little bit further away usually, and you should use a mouse with this, than the phone. But I'm going to take this and put it on the laptop and get him to touch the laptop now. Okay, hold. And very much stronger. So, thank you, Dar, for helping us out on this lovely Sunday. And I'd like to talk very quickly and very briefly about how you can test yourself. People who've worked with me are pretty proficient in this, because I get them to do this all the time. Just self-test. I call it sticky smooth. The only thing that's going to stand against this is probably if you wear nail varnish, and that probably applies to the ladies. But if you're not wearing nail varnish, the other thing to bear in mind is switching. Switching means that the energy has flipped, and so you're not getting a reliable piece of information back again. So to safeguard that, there are various things that we've done in the past, like if you remember this, massaging the meridians on the inside of the arm, 8 times down, 8 times up, both arms, and then down the outside of your legs and up and the inside of your legs. That should take you out of switching. Tapping the thymus is another very useful trick here. So I've tapped my thymus, and so we can actually test things ourselves. So I'm going to test the laptop, and how I do it, sticky smooth, is I rub the ball of my middle finger over the nail of my forefinger, like that. And as I rub it, I get a sensation. It's either, in my case, as I rub it, now I'm not touching the computer, the laptop, I get a reasonably smooth experience. But when I touch the laptop and do that, it's ridged. So that's showing that this is having it's affecting me in some way. It's negatively affecting me. My body doesn't like this very much. So I'll take the Orgonite, I'll put it on the laptop, I'll touch the laptop, and I'll do the same thing. And this time, it's smooth. I take it away, and I do the same thing, and it's reached. So what we're looking for is the smooth, because that means that we are not being affected or weakened by the chaotic electromagnetic frequencies that are coming off this laptop or the telephone or whatever it might be. So this is how these help you. There are many appliances in your house that we talked about, like microwave ovens. Those are particularly bad. Ovens, fridges are really bad, that are sending off chaotic energy. They're all affecting us. Now, we haven't talked about 5G. I really can't test this sitting here because, as far as I know, 5G hasn't been turned on. It certainly is not in this house, and our modem upstairs is not 5G friendly. It would have to be a new modem. None of these phones are 5G phones. Those would have to be got separately, would have to be rebought, and I suspect they are quite expensive, so I see no point in actually doing that. So practice, if you can do this, if you can do the sticky smooth, you can actually use it to your benefit on many, many things. Not only to test for electromagnetic fields, but also for foods and whatnot. Because food, Hippocrates said, food is our medicine. One of the problems I fervently believe in this COVID outbreak is that people are inherently unhealthy because they are not eating healthily. That the foods that they're buying are being messed about with. In the United States, many or most products, unless, I mean vegetables and fruit, unless they are organic, are going to be genetically modified. This is going to be less so in other parts of the world, although I have a horrible suspicion that the British are going to let in genetically modified food by the boatload. The EU actually dug their heels in on this. But the food that we eat, the lifestyle we live, stress, food, smoking, alcohol, all these things contribute to our overall sense of well-being. So as far as food is concerned, we want to eat healthily, we want to eat organic produce as far as possible. We want to drink fresh, clean water as well. We don't want to be imbibing or eating toxins, because that is going to lower our immune rating. So that's the story for today. Please, if you've got comments, leave them under this video. These videos, these talks go out also onto YouTube. Comments there are really, really encouraged. They also go to LinkedIn and to Twitter. And maybe to Instagram as well. So they go to lots of sources. And so what I would really like is interaction. And what we are doing here, what this is making way, publicizing our virtual detox, which are a way of becoming to health without having to fly all the way here to Thailand. You can do this online. And we have regular conversations with WhatsApp or whatever, and using Sticky Smooth as well. I have a good idea what's going on with you, and we have some really interesting things that we're developing at the moment, like frequencies, morphogenetic soundtracks, things like this that also I haven't talked about, but will talk about at another time. But for now, if you'd like to get in touch, please do. I'm happy to hear from you. Please leave your comments. And thank you so much for listening. So for now, bye. And talk to you again soon.